Well, thank you, Susan, and let me just first echo what has already been said, this $908 billion framework, which will take us from December 1 through March 31st. Not going to make everybody happy, but there's been an enormous amount of work done. I want to thank particularly the Senate colleagues who have spent, I think, literally every day but Thanksgiving, either over pizza or over pasta at people's houses like Lisa's, and there's been a lot of enormously good give and take. I came to this with the notion that I'm hearing from Virginians, somebody used it and I borrowed their term, that it would be stupidity on steroids if Congress left for Christmas without doing an interim package as a bridge. I think we've laid out that interim package, which shortly will appear. I just want to touch on two items very briefly. One, for all of us who live in the metro area, we saw in the Washington Post editorial today that short of some relief, Metro will have to lay off close to 4,000 workers over the next coming months. It will end service after 9 o'clock every day. It will end service on weekends. That will have a dramatic effect on the functions of the federal government as well as constituents across the tri-state area. So we've made, I think, the right kind of investment in public transit. Secondly, and Susan has been the leader on this, on support for small businesses. We have literally hundreds of thousands of small businesses across Virginia that are struggling. Disproportionately, we've seen those businesses that have been affected have been minority businesses. We've lost 440,000 black-owned businesses across America, literally destroying generation of wealth creation. In this package, we've allocated $11 billion for investments in CDFIs, MDIs, and other institutions that will lend to these underserved communities. And that'll have a good short-term and long-term effect. So while this perhaps will offend some folks on both sides, we think it is a good framework, and we are all committed to doing what it takes to get it done. With that, let me turn it over to somebody who has been a constant effort at bridging the gaps. Maybe that's because he's a doctor as opposed to the lawyers in the crowd. That's our friend Bill Cassidy.